everybody, I'm Corey Taylor.
And I'm Dr. Gina Passalia.
And today we want to talk about something that it's about binge watching on Netflix. No, I'm just playing. But it is about watching TV shows. So we wanted to talk about a TV show that for some reason she really, really liked it. It's called The
Travelers.
I don't know why she liked this. I watched like a couple of episodes and I was like, boring. But you've watched how many so far?
This is going into the third season.
So it's happening, people. Because of COVID, it's happening. At least that's what her excuse is.
I've never been much of a binge watcher, but we did do a Happy, Healthy, Crazy show regarding binge watching, and I listened to your pros because he's a big binge watcher.
Stop it. Don't. That's not enough. I'm a modest binge watcher.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so during the pandemic, it's not exactly safe to go out and be around a bunch of people. So in hunkering down, I have had a couple of binge watching episodes. So this is one I've been binge watching.
Oh, so The Travelers is what she's been binge watching. Now, we're not giving Netflix a plug, but we're just going to show you the trailer. So we're going to watch a little bit. We're going to watch the trailer of The Travelers, and then we're going to come back and talk about it and figure out why she's somewhere. Here's the thing.
We, the last unbroken remnants, vow to undo the errors of our ascendants, to make the earth whole, the lost unlost, at peril of our own birth. 30 seconds.
In the future, we've developed a technology to project conscious mind to a host body.
You recognize Marcy has a significant intellectual disability.
Yeah.
In our time, many years from now, humanity's been all but wiped out.
I got thought we were
We've
really
come
going to
back
talk
to
about
change
this.
that.
Huh. 3 seconds.
Oh.
That's good.
Welcome to the 21st.
Let's begin. My name's McLaren.
I know it's getting good now. You said I was a binge watcher. You can't watch. What's wrong with you? No, it's not long enough attention span.
One way or the other, we are seeing this through to the end.
Well, I don't want my
You guys pick out what you want. Fine. Wait to see it, my baby.
Okay, listen. Now, the thing is that she wanted me to cut it, so I just cut it out. You see how I just reached over across the way and cut it? But here's the thing that was so interesting, and I really want you all to think about this. It said that in this TV show, they have the ability to take the conscience of a person and send it through time to manifest in someone else. Now, you know what's crazy about this? Because remember, I used to tell you that anything you see on TV is really hype for something that they already can do or they're close to doing. Have you ever noticed that most of the TV shows that are kind of sci-fi now are all talking about moving the consciousness of one person to the host body of another person?
Well, right now, I mean, obviously the big deal is about AIs. And of course, in here, the director is one big AI.
Right.
But, for me, I kind of parallel the director to, God in our life.
Okay.
That he's got a good plan. And like when the travelers go in, I sort of think of it like a rebirth, when we become born again.
Right.
Because it's like we take this old body and now we have a new mind with a purpose in mind. And so when these travelers enter into these bodies, they are there with a purpose and a plan to undo evil and wicked in the world. And so that's why I like it. It sort of reminds me of our journey. And then there's the faction. They want to do it their own way. They want free will. They don't want to be directed. And so I think of, our fallen nature wants to do its own way, its own thing, and not, do what our director, which is God, has a plan for us to do.
Now, this is interesting because that you said that we want to do it our own way because, you know me, I always talk about election stuff and everybody talks about, oh, this party wants you to do this party wants you to do this, you can't think free in this party, you can't think free in this party. The thing that's so crazy that I want to come back to, though, is this concept of people being able to take consciousness from one person to another body. And I think, you said you got the factions who don't want to follow protocol, but how would you feel if you die, but they capture your conscience and then they're moving your conscience from place to place? Wouldn't that feel like it's a little out of control?
Well, when the person dies, another conscience is put in them with
I
a
know.
specific purpose. So it'd be like if I die, I go to heaven and God says, I'm going to use your body for some other purpose.
But it's going to be somebody else's conscience in another
if
body.
it was for greater good, then, I mean, in some ways, isn't that what being reborn is? We have the nature of God come in us that is not our human nature.
Yeah, but that's probably a little bit way out there, though. That's a little way out there. Because this artificial intelligence it reminds me of the Terminator. That's what it reminds me of. So I know you want to talk about artificial intelligence and how it's kind of like a God thing, but I don't know if I want to say too much about artificial intelligence being like a God thing because it's a little spooky.
Well, it is spooky for sure. I mean, if you watch Social Dilemma, that was another one we were going
to Exactly. Yes. Now you're picking up on what I'm talking about.
Yes,
so
I understand.
All of these things could be happening right now, but I don't know if we're ready for all of that.
Well, I think a lot of it already is happening.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah. It's like it's already happening. It's going down whether we like it or not. So,
but so if you think about therapy though, and what I tell people is like, if you're going to watch something, at least don't just veg out and be mindless. You know, pick and choose the things that relate to you. It's kind of like video therapy in some ways, or teletherapy. So for me, when I'm watching this, I kind of pick and, like there's a really great social worker on there who's very loving and kind and patient. And then when they, one of them loses their memory, the concept of us having to go back in and regain our memory of events when, so as a therapist, I can relate to a lot of areas in this movie that entertain me and sort of inspire me.
Okay, well, you heard it here, folks. Dr. Gina can relate to the travelers about conscious moving from body to body. Sound a little bit like The Exorcist to me. But
oh gosh.
I'm just messing with you. I understand what you're saying. You're trying to do the God thing with artificial intelligence. Well, we'll be back some other time to finish this conversation, but it's something to think about.
That's right. Have a great day. Bye.
Have a great day.